Well, Pride is often celebrated as a time of joy and community, but for some, especially those who are isolated or unsupported, it can bring up pain. Dr. Samra Zafar has worked extensively with the 2S LGBTQ plus youth, parents, and patients, and she joins us with more. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here.
Great to have you with us. And why don't we start off with what advice do you have for someone who feels maybe left out of Pride, not by choice, but because of an unsafe home environment or personal trauma?
Yes, that's such a great question. And when we think about Pride and we think about celebrations, they're really a great chance to connect and find support and camaraderie and feel a sense of belonging, which are all amazing things. But unfortunately, everyone's experience is not equal. There are many, many people out there, especially young people that I work with, youth that I work with, who are experiencing a lot of marginalization and ostracization. There are people who are fleeing their countries and coming to Canada as refugees because of torture they faced due to their sexual orientation or their gender identity. And these are really serious issues. So when you see you see all these pride celebrations, however, for you, it's been dangerous. And for you, it's been very marginalizing to have your identity being out in the open. It can stir up a lot of feelings of historical experiences of trauma, of family dynamics, and this anger, like, why isn't my family accepting me, and even guilt, shame. So it's really important to be compassionate to yourself and understand not everybody's experience is the same. We get into a comparison mindset oftentimes that, well, everybody else is having fun and celebrating, why am I feeling sad? And I give an example. Personally, for me, Mother's Day is very bittersweet because I don't have a great relationship with my mom. And then I see everybody celebrating. It can stir up difficult feelings. So it's important to be compassionate and validate your own personal experience, that not everyone's experience is the same. And acknowledge your emotions by either journaling or talking to a trusted friend or a therapist. Seek that help if you need it.
Okay, and can you speak to how Pride events can support mental health and what makes those connections so powerful in reducing isolation and increasing resilience?
I think, we focus a lot on celebration, which is amazing. It's also important to recognize that mental health challenges affect the LGBTQ plus communities in very, very disproportionate ways. They experience a lot more of depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation. For instance, sexual minority Canadians are approximately 25% more likely to contemplate suicide. So these are not just, anecdotal things. This is driven by research and data. So it's really important to have these conversations, destigmatize mental health, encourage community members to seek support, and really pay attention to how other people are feeling and check in. And checking in is not just, hey, how are you doing? By the way, are you joining the celebration? Checking in means sitting down with them. How are you doing? I really want to know, and asking them how they want to be supported.
And Doctor, what's one thing allies can do this month to actually make a difference?
Allyship is a journey. It's not a destination. It's not like you get up one day and say, I'm going to be an ally to this group, and you get on your soapbox and you start, speaking on behalf of someone. Allyship is about amplifying their voices. Allyship is about educating ourselves that, what is the right way I can show up. It's not about solving and fixing things. It's about showing up in solidarity. It's about being there for somebody. So one thing you can do is first educate yourself. What are some of your blind spots? What are some of your unconscious biases? And I am a mother to two queer daughters. I grew up with intense homophobia and patriarchy in my environment and in my childhood. So if I can today be on that journey to be a parent that my daughters deserve and should have, then anyone can. And that is my message to allies: is it's a journey. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have, you're going to do things and say things you're not proud of and are going to make you cringe later on. But it's all about being compassionate to yourself, showing up repeatedly, educating yourself, be on that journey. And when you know better, do better.
I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning and bringing that great advice and some things to think about.
Thank you very much for having me.
And if you'd like to connect with Dr. Zafar, check out samarazafar.com.